Hi class, today we'll be finishing the second part of Freddy the Frogcaster. Yesterday we left off at the part where Polly was beginning to struggle with balancing her new job along with being famous. I think there might be a problem coming in our story. What do you guys think? I'm starting to notice that Polly's forecast has not been very accurate, meaning her weather predictions are not always correct. So as you're listening to the story, start to think about the problem going on in the story and pay attention to how our main characters are going about solving that problem. Okay? So we will begin listening to the story on page 18. Then we will read the rest of the story. So pay close attention because you will have questions about the book after the reading. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on page 18.
The attention was great for the TV station. More and more frogs tuned in to see the new Frogcaster in action. But Freddy started to notice a change in the forecasts. It seemed like Polly was so busy with all of her celebrity appearances that she didn't have time to watch the weather clues. Several days in a row, Freddy's forecasts were more accurate than Polly's. Some days, Polly didn't seem to have a forecast at all. Mother Nature is being tricky today. It may be sunny, or it may rain. Who knows? It may even snow. Be prepared. Frogs were juggling their umbrellas, sunglasses, and mittens. That way, they'd be ready for any type of weather. One day, the mayor dropped by to pay Freddy a visit. "Mr. Mayor, what can I do for you, sir?" Freddy asked politely. "As you know, Freddy, the Leapfrog Picnic is a week away. It's a big event for frog families near and far, and we need an accurate weather forecast that day," the mayor said. "Why are you telling me?" Freddy looked puzzled. "Polly Woggins is the new Frogcaster." The mayor looked one way. Then he looked the other way. He leaned in close and said in a quiet voice, "The thing is, Polly is so busy with her frog fans, she barely has time to say weather, let alone forecast it. I need you to keep an eye on the weather so we can plan a great day." "I'll do my best, Mr. Mayor," Freddy said. Then Freddy offered to show the mayor his weather station. As Freddy led the mayor out to the backyard, he explained, "Weather gets tricky to forecast this time of year. One day it's warm and dry, the next it's cool and rainy. If it gets cold enough, it could even snow." The mayor was impressed with Freddy's weather station. "Amazing," he declared, certain he had found the right frog for the job. Freddy wasn't about to let the town down. Every day he checked and rechecked his maps and instruments. Things were looking fine until the day before the picnic. If the cold front moving in from the west mixed with warm air from the south, it could bring strong thunderstorms. Freddy knew thunderstorms and picnics were not a good combination, and not just because it would soak all the fried cricket sandwiches. It could put the frogs in real danger. Freddy was worried. Polly Woggins hadn't mentioned a word about rain in her last report. Freddy had to do something. He called the mayor and asked him to meet at his weather station. But when the mayor arrived, he wasn't alone. Freddy's favorite TV frogcaster, Sally Croaker, was with him, tadpoles in tow. "I heard you needed a little help," she explained. With no time to waste, Sally and Freddy hopped to it. "Mr. Mayor," Sally said, "Freddy is right. There is a big storm on the way." "Quick, turn on the TV," said the mayor. "Maybe we can get word to Polly in time for her last forecast." But they were too late. Polly was signing off, advising her frog fans to be prepared for perfect picnic weather tomorrow. "Uh-oh," said Sally. "Uh-oh is right," said the mayor. "Hey, wait a minute," said Freddy. "She's not all wrong." The mayor and Sally were confused. "Be prepared," said Freddy. She said, "Be prepared. We can do that." "Why, yes we can," agreed the mayor with a big sigh of relief. "Come on, Freddy, we've got work to do." The big day started out fine, sunny and warm. All the frogs were having fun, playing in the lily pond and drying off in the warm sun. Right before lunch, things started to change. The fluffy white clouds turned gray and lumpy. There was a chill in the air, and the wind started to howl. A loud rumble sounded in the distance. Big, sloppy raindrops began to fall. The mayor grabbed a megaphone and said, "Please move your family and your food to the frogatorium. I repeat, everyone head to the frogatorium now." Freddy held up a big white sign with a red arrow, guiding the fleeing froggies in the right direction. In no time at all, the frogs were settling in for an indoor picnic, cheering on the winner of the fly-eating contest and practicing for the leapfrog race. Happy frogs were nibbling on food piled high on tables that Freddy, Sally, and the mayor had set up the night before. Freddy knew that when it came to weather, it was always best to be prepared. Wouldn't you know it? The leapfrog picnic was a huge success. The mayor and Sally made sure everyone knew that Freddy's frogcasting had saved the day. Even Polly Woggon stopped by to thank him. She was a little embarrassed, but happy to give him credit. "You know, Freddy," she said, "I could use a frogcaster like you to help out. Would you like to be my assistant?" "I would! I would!" he shouted. Everyone laughed. "Look over there," said Sally. All the frogs turned. It was the biggest, most beautiful rainbow Freddy had ever seen. Freddy smiled. Things always look better after the sun comes out, and the future sure did look bright for this little frogcaster.
Okay, so in this page, we are seeing a part of Freddy's journal where he gives us more information about the weather. I'm going to assign this book to you on Google Classroom. That way you can go back and you can read his journal. It shows you really cool pictures about the weather formation. It shows you tools that are used to read and predict the weather, along with new vocabulary words. So on this page, we have some types of clouds. I know we've talked about this in science before, and we worked on a couple pages on our Science Fusion book that talked about types of clouds. And then right here on this page, we have some of the tools that they use to read and predict the weather. And then we have some, it talks about the cold front and warm front. And then we have weather forecasting, we have wind, it talks about rain and snow. So I would like for you guys to, once you finish with your questions, go back to your Google Classroom and go under classwork and look for the Freddy the Frogcaster book that I have assigned for you, and you can go through and read Freddy's journal.